Guys, so for today's lesson, we're going to be making our fish pie. So some of the things we're going to need some peas or sweet corn or both, some butter, cheese, a bay leaf if you can get one, some plain flour, milk, potatoes, an onion, half a Swede, some fish pie mix if you can get that, if not just some haddock. You're going to need 2 saucepans, an oven-proof dish, a peeler and a sharp knife. So make sure you've got out all your equipment, you've weighed out all your ingredients as well. You have got your pans on the hob and you've got some boiling water in one of your pans, and put that on to start heating up and boiling. You also need to make sure that you've washed your hands, got your apron on, and then you are ready to go. So what you need to do first of all is you are going to get your pan on with your hot water, and then you're going to peel your potatoes and your swede, and then you're going to cut it up into small chunks. Okay, they all need to be fairly even so that they then cook at the same time, and you don't have some that are really rock hard because they're bigger, and some that are tiny and really soft. So that is the first thing that you're going to need to do. So I've chopped up my swede into chunks and my potato also into similar sized chunks. I'm going to pop that into my saucepan with my boiling water. Do be careful when you're popping it in there though, you will get some splash. So if you have a draining spoon or some sort of spoon to pop it in there, that is brilliant. When we want to check our swede and potato is done, okay, we're going to get our knife, we're going to pop it into the saucepan and into a bit of swede. And if it sticks like it is now, it is then not done, okay, because it's still raw. If you pop it in and it slides off straight away, then it is done. So you need to turn the heat off and then drain the water from it. While that is boiling, okay, I'm going to pop into my other saucepan my fish mix. So I'm going to put all of that in straight away. Don't need to do anything to that. I'm going to put all of that in. Okay, and along with that, I'm going to put in there my milk, so all of my milk, and my bay leaf. Okay, and then I'm going to pop that onto the hob, and I'm going to let that cook, okay, for about 10 to 15 minutes, okay, on a fairly low heat. So my fish is in there, my milk is in there too, and then I'm going to pop my bay leaf in that as well. Okay, give that a bit of a stir so that is all in there. Okay, the bay leaf is going to add some really nice flavours to that. So I'm going to pop that onto my hob as well, and I'm going to let that simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so while my potatoes and swede were boiling, my fish was also on the hob. Okay, and I made sure that I'd added all of my fish, my milk, and I let that simmer for about 10 or so minutes. Once that had happened, I then had added my chopped up onion. So I chopped up my onion really fine and put that in too. Allowed that to cook for a further 5 minutes. Once that had happened, I put in my peas, and then I added in my flour. Okay, so I made sure when I put that in, I kept stirring, and that's made the mixture go really nice and thick. Okay, along with that, butter's made it kind of go creamy as well. My potatoes and swede have now boiled, so I'm going to take those off the heat, drain them using my colander, and then I'm going to add in the other half of my butter, and I'm going to mash that up really small, so there's no lumps, and it's nice and smooth. Okay, have a go at that. So I've drained my potatoes and swede. Okay, and I'm going to pop it back into my saucepan because that's the best place for me to be able to mash it. I'm then going to pop in my butter. Woo, steamy. And then I'm going to mash it really smoothly. So using my masher, okay, I'm going to mash in that butter. Okay, and I want to make sure that there are no lumps. Nobody likes lumpy mash. Okay, so you're going to mash all of that together. That butter's in there as well. That's going to make it go nice and creamy. Okay, so use your muscles. Okay, no lumpy mash. We don't want any lumps in that. We want it nice and smooth to go on top of our fish mixture. Okay, I've popped my saucepan back on my work surface and I've put a tea towel underneath so that I don't burn a hole in my work surface. I don't want to do that. If you've got like one of those heat-proof dish holders, use that as well. Okay, but don't put your hot pan straight onto your work surface. Your parents will not be happy. Okay, so give that a good mash. Okay, as I'm getting through it, I'm going to add some pepper to it. Okay, good old swaz of pepper. Add a nice bit of flavour to that. Okay, so that is looking nice and smooth. While I'm doing this, I'm going to put my oven on to 180 degrees. Okay, so that is heating while I am doing this final bit. So make sure that there is no lumps left in your mash. Okay, that looks nice and lump free. I'm then going to pop my fish mixture into my oven-proof dish. Make sure you take out that bay leaf because you don't want to be serving that up to somebody with a big old leaf in there for them to start eating. That is not going to be ideal. So use a spoon or a fork or something to get that out before you pop it into your oven-proof dish. I think I've got lump-free mash. Excellent. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. So I've got my fish mixture here. I'm going to take out that bay leaf. We don't want that in there. I'm going to pop in my fish into the dish. Okay. Oh, that is in there. Oh, good old quantity of fish. Okay, that's in there. I'm then going to spoon on my mash as well. Okay, so do make sure, check that there's definitely no lumps. Hopefully there shouldn't be. Okay, I'm just going to cover my fish with my mash. You want a good layer of mash on the top. Okay, try not to squish it on too much because you don't want then the fish mixture to be squeezing out of the dish. Okay, so pop a good old layer of your mash on the top. Okay, spread it out a little bit. Make sure there's sort of an even layer. Oh, look at that. You can see the different colours of the potato and the swede in there, which makes it interesting, and the pepper too. Okay, excellent. You're then going to make it really interesting, you're going to grate your cheese over the top, and then you're going to use a fork to draw some nice lines in the top. Okay, so grate your cheese on it, and then use your fork to make some nice decorative lines. Okay, just makes it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so I've popped my lines on the top, and then you're gonna pop it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, that cheese will start bubbling and going a nice brown colour. Your mash will go a nice brown colour. Your fish is already cooked through, so that is fine. And then serve it up with some veg, and send us a picture and let us know how you get on. Can't wait to see them.